You can have a large net worth, a large portfolio.
Sure.
And not have met that worth. And you can have a lower net worth and you have worth beyond wealth. So wealth is not to be detested or desired or feared,
Powerful.
but it's simply a tool to help people realize their goals and values and objectives. In the last year, I've had at least 2 clients say to me, Melissa, you're going to have to encourage me to spend.
Wow.
I need you to tell me it's okay. My wife still needs somebody that she knows and can turn to and ask questions.
Wow.
And if something happened to me, you would be there for her. Your money lives beyond you, and your goals are beyond you.
Welcome to the Worth Beyond Wealth podcast,
where net worth meets personal worth. I'm Shannon.
I'm Ryan. We help families navigate the emotional, relational, and personal realities that money alone can't solve.
If you've built wealth but still wonder what it all means, or how to keep your family grounded while protecting your legacy, you're in the right place.
We sit down with experts and with you to talk identity, purpose, and connection beyond the balance sheet.
Because true wealth isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in the impact we make and the relationships we nurture.
So grab a seat,
take a breath,
and let's redefine what it means
to be truly wealthy together.
This is the Worth Beyond Wealth podcast.
All right, so today we are talking to the women of RW. I was joking earlier. It's like it's not the Real Housewives of Orange County. Mm-hmm. It's the real women of RW. But earlier we talked with Raleigh Bacek, and then we talked with Kimberly Jakes, and now this is Melissa Jenkins. She is a CPA and a CFA. She is a principal and wealth advisor here at RW. She brings tax and investing together. On a personal note, she is our niece, and so we're a little proud of her. Yeah, and a little quick funny background story. She used to be obviously then Melissa Warwick before Jenkins. So, yes. I mean, when people would call in, they would assume that you were married to Ryan, and that was kind of gross.
Yes.
That was your uncle.
So gross.
So gross. Yeah. So we're thankful for her husband,
yes,
Aaron.
And changing my last name.
Changing the last name.
It's made things easier.
It has made things easier.
And you also have 2 beautiful little boys.
2 beautiful boys.
Yeah,
yes.
old?
I have a 4-year-old and a almost 9-month-old.
Yeah.
So
you're a busy mama.
Busy mama.
Busy mama.
Lots of joy and giggles though. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the real worth.
Yes, the real worth.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. And we're talking about worth beyond wealth today. So I think it's a good little transition there. In your own words, what is worth beyond wealth, and how do you personally help families grow more of it?
It's a big question.
It's
a big question. Well, I did look at that question, and I thought about it a little bit, really just this morning.
I love it.
Because I was, spending most of the weekend with the boys.
With the boys.
Surrounded by boys. I'm the opposite of Ryan, who is always surrounded by girls. So worth beyond wealth. I think that it is really just realizing God's peace, His joy, His strength, and His purpose for each and every one of us. I think really you just have to go there. And so realizing that purpose for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And not every client feels that way. We know that.
Mm.
If you were addressing a client, how would you navigate them in that worth beyond wealth space?
Yep.
So wealth is not to be detested or desired or feared.
Powerful.
But it's simply a tool to help people realize their goals and values and objectives. And so helping people navigate what they think is their desire to have the right size portfolio or how much money they need to spend, but what are the things that they value and the objectives that they have and the emotion behind that, and helping them to navigate getting there in a positive way. I think that so many people are intimidated by money, positively or negatively, but just intimidated by how to navigate it and what they're trying to achieve with it. So trying to just cut through the noise and hear what they really are wanting, which they don't always know until you have some of those conversations.
I love that you said that because
too.
I think I'm going to read from your bio.
Yes.
You may not even know what your bio says.
I do know, I do often say intimidated by money, so I know my bio says that, but.
Issues relating to money can be very emotional. I think you resonated that relative to real worth. The backdrop is noisy and confusing. As a student of investing and wealth management, you help your clients balance reason and emotion while fostering open and honest communication. And we'll come back to how you do that within families, spouses, and trying to encourage probably both spouses to be involved. But experience, we'll talk about this more later, has taught me that every client's situation and needs are unique, and accounting for their feelings about wealth is as important as accounting for their assets and liabilities. Being there for my clients through all of life's transitions is an honor, privilege, and responsibility. I just think that what you said just resonated so beautifully with that.
And you
Thank
were
you.
reading your own bio. So this is organic, right?
Yes.
This is who you are. This is the lens in which you view your role as an investor here at RW.
Yes. Yes.
This is how you live life.
Very much so. I mean, it's life. We all have things that are hard emotionally, things that are joyful and exciting, painful. You know, we are all human. We all have those emotions. And I think that often, you know, clients will come in and you don't know what they had happen in the last year or sometimes or the last week or month or day, whatever is going on. And, you know, they bring that with them into the meeting, just like we are bringing ourselves into that meeting and what's going on that day. And the money is just a tool to help them achieve those things. And so trying to just understand really what would bring them worth and peace of mind and joy.
So I'm hearing you say that you don't want your clients serving their money. You want that money serving your client.
Yes.
That's
well put. Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Or chasing a number.
Yeah.
Right?
An arbitrary number.
Yes.
You're trying to help them understand this is what you need, right? Yes, we have goals. Maybe this is what you want, but don't get caught in some cycle to where there's this nebulous arbitrary number that you have to just keep searching for and grasping for. Live well and have worth beyond wealth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think that term, especially that worth beyond wealth, you know, you can have a large net worth, a large portfolio.
Sure.
And not have met that worth.
No.
And you can have a lower net worth and you have worth beyond wealth and everywhere in between. And so it's not the number, it's not what your net worth statement says that gets you to worth beyond wealth. And so clients, I think we all have that comparison piece inside of us. And so I'll have clients ask, how do we compare to others in terms of savings? And I'm like,
wow,
you know, that's
stressful for them.
Well, it's a valid question. I think it's in all of us to ask that, but I also just redirect and say, you know, everybody has a different path, a different story, a different number, and it really doesn't matter in terms of comparison, but what are your goals and are you able to achieve those? So bringing, even in those moments, like bringing it back, like let's get away from that comparison mindset, that trying to hit that number, but what do you actually want to do in this life and achieve? And maybe you're already there. Maybe we need to do a few things to get there, but trying to get that focus on what matters most.
Sure. So getting them away from that comparison is the thief of joy.
Right.
No, but what matters to you? Are we hitting your personal mark, your goal?
Right.
Okay. So helping bring them back. And that's the psychology of money. The word he used was enough.
Yeah.
What's enough?
Yeah.
And they have the example of a gentleman who he came from poverty and he quickly moved up in the world and, he's a multimillionaire, but he wasn't in the multi millionaire circle or the billionaire circle.
Yeah.
I need more.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost it all with the comparison.
Yeah.
And so what was enough?
And, even with that question, like, are you trying to find yourself in the top 10%, 1%? Are you trying to have joy with your family, to experience the Hawaiian vacation before your kids all leave the house? So what are you trying to
What would bring you
achieve with that?
joy?
What would actually bring you joy and peace of mind and have you enjoy your life?
Are there ways you help people navigate that conversation?
Yeah.
Because I think it's what you're saying is absolutely correct. And the danger is we have some number, and
Yeah.
that number represents fulfillment or happiness or wealth. And then we move the goalpost,
Yeah.
right? That's easy to do. So how do you help people actually plan for?
Best way is just asking lots of questions and leading them, not trying to bring them to a certain answer or me talking, but truly just asking questions, letting each spouse talk. And if one says, well, this is our answer, turning to the next and ensuring that they also do you agree or do you see it differently?
Wow.
Making sure that they both get that voice, because I think it's really easy to get one answer from one person and move on. And
You find those answers are often different.
yeah. And I think that they don't necessarily realize that about themselves either. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes they say, no, I agree with that. And so that's, wonderful. They're on the same page. But I think it's good just to make sure that everybody gets that time to think and say, yes, that's I agree. That's what we want. But making sure you just keep asking questions and the next question, and until you know confidently that you're at a good answer. And, if that's not going to be possible with the portfolio size, those are harder conversations. They're not quite so much fun. But so you redirect, well, how can we get there in a different way, or see that goal fulfill, without the output, cash flow, or if they're already there, and just helping them realize oh, you don't actually need to work another year or save up to a certain number. You have this
Permission.
permission to move forward and to get that thing. Yeah.
Raleigh said along those lines is we often find ourselves needing to encourage the client that it's okay to spend, that often they're
Pay
not.
yourself now.
Yes.
It's not an easy transition to make. Have you seen that same?
Yes, I can actually recall in the last year, I've had at least 2 clients say to me, Melissa, you're going to have to encourage me to spend.
Wow.
I need you
Wow.
to tell me it's okay. And
That's really powerful.
it
though.
is really
And
powerful.
they trust you to be the good guide.
Yeah.
So you have built rapport, relationship, trust.
Now, I've also had a client say, oh, Melissa, you don't have to give me permission to spend my money.
I'm
like,
ready
that's
to
good.
spend it.
Well,
That's funny.
It's it is my money. I understand that. But it is funny. I'm like, it is your money. But sometimes they just want us to say, it is okay.
Navigating differently now. Going
Yeah.
From that saving mindset to the spending mindset. And it's very different.
It is a very different. I think it's one of the hardest transitions in life. I haven't had to experience it yet,
Yeah.
but just
But
through,
you've walked with many people.
you've
walked
walked
with
through
many
many
people.
people and seeing that it is a hard transition.
So I would say right
Yeah.
there, and we haven't gotten to it yet, but
Yeah.
because we'll talk about wisdom. And I think that right there, you're gaining wisdom through that lived experience of having walked and walked and walked on these journeys.
Yes.
And it is informing you in how you walk with people. This is going to be a very difficult transition. I want to set you up for success.
Yes.
That's really beautiful. I've heard a couple things in what you said. You are listening. You are opening up a safe space for people to speak. You want
Try.
to hear. You're trying.
Yes.
You're trying and you're listening. You're pulling information. Tell me, what are your goals? What are you thinking? What's scary? What's joyful? You're opening up a space. I think that's really important because, I think often you can get into spaces where someone wants to I just need to advise you. But you're trying to flip that and say, I'm going to coach you and I'm going to be a good guide, but this is your journey, so I need to understand your journey.
Yes. I mean, you can't I can't think of a good metaphor right now. But I mean, to your point, Shannon, if you don't know where they're trying to go, I mean, if you can't plug into Siri the destination, then you're not going to get there. You can't guide on that next right step. If you don't know if they have a F-150 or a convertible or a tractor,
Right.
you don't know what roads they can take.
Sure.
So you do have to know
Absolutely.
the right information
Right.
to get there.
I think one analogy might be we have two ears and one mouth, and
Yeah.
we speak and listen in proportion.
We try. Yes.
try.
It's really easy
I
to
mean,
do the opposite.
It is. And because you want to show that you know, but I think you
And
do a
it's
really good
necessary.
job of
Yeah.
asking questions, listening,
Mhm.
interjecting appropriate wisdom and advice when it is called for,
Yeah.
but then letting the people, the clients speak and be heard. And you said something that's really important. And I don't think that most people out there, in fact, I know that most people out there in the industry at large do this, but you turn to the next client
Oh my goodness, yes.
Right. and you want them to be seen and heard also.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a really critical point.
Hey, I'm so proud of you.
Well-
You're just in sync because I was going to say you said both.
Yes.
And it's a great transition because of the historic wave of wealth moving to women that we know is coming. And I think what I'm hearing you say is you're wanting to help them feel ready and calm, educated, heard, understood. It's important to you during these meetings to hear both sides. Are we walking in unison? Is there something else I need to hear? So you're wanting to hear from both spouses.
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
I mean, not just for me, but for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You want to empower them and educate them and hear them.
And that they hear each other.
Absolutely. I think that's something that we've really been picking up on here is there's a lot of mediating that can kind of go on,
Yes.
or things that come out that they weren't even aware. And now it's a place where we can even be stronger as a couple. Man, that was really powerful that came out in our meeting with Melissa, and I didn't know you felt that way. Tell me about that. How do I help you with that goal? How do we dream together?
Right. Absolutely. And knowing that those dreams are possible, or
Or as you said, we're going to need to take a little bit of a different road, but we can.
yeah.
Well, I think the ethos of our firm is not to just make sure people are prepared for the possibility of losing a spouse. So that's part of this transition that's coming. But
Yeah.
I mean, you said they hear each other, so that they know, so that they're talking to each other. You're facilitating communication, so that in our project, LifeRaft, life is living in family enterprise. This isn't about preparing somebody for the eventual loss of their spouse. It's about giving them a framework for intentionality to live a flourishing life. And that's what you're already doing. I mean, that's,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
well,
I think-
you're facilitating the conversation
Yeah.
for that
You're opening the
purpose,
floor
right?
Yeah.
for mission, for vision, for purpose, walking together.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's really important as we start looking to this transfer of wealth that's coming, women in particular needing the education because so many are reporting feelings of unpreparedness, inability to manage the inheritance that's coming, or even if it's not inheritance, but widows.
Yeah,
baby
I mean, I think a
boomers.
big part of this, so the numbers are estimated at 124 trillion
Trillion.
over the next 20 years. 54 trillion expected to go to surviving spouses, 95% of whom are women. And I think that would have shocked me. But when I looked through those people that I serve that have lost spouses, it's 90+% that are women.
The surviving spouses are predominantly women.
Yeah.
And they want somebody that they can trust.
Sure.
And everybody does. And what's really amazing is I feel like a lot of the couples that we work with, the husband wants his spouse to know that whoever they're working with in the event that he passed first, the wife has somebody that they trust and are comfortable to go to for that help. And I know
Steward. there.
Yes,
Not
there
just
is a
somebody
steward
sharing it.
there. And I know been lucky enough to have a couple new clients come looking specifically for that purpose. I'm sick. My wife needs to know
Wow.
that they're taken care of, and they have somebody that they can trust and turn to when I'm no longer here. So that's a beautiful thing to be a part of. It's not easy, but providing that peace of mind, that trust and confidence, and being able to help them navigate through that time
That's
is
weighty.
it's weighty, but it's
humbling.
It's an act of love for
yeah.
that person to say we need to seek something out.
Specifically
Yeah.
for my spouse.
Yeah.
So that they are safe, heard, seen, cared for.
Yep.
That's very powerful.
It is powerful.
Because that transition becomes a moment of vulnerability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And as we talk about this, younger clients who aren't in that position, and the husband he could take care of his portfolio by himself. He knows all the ins and outs. But I feel privileged that they still said, no, we're going to get an advisor because again, we don't know what happens in life. And my wife still needs somebody that she knows and can turn to and ask questions.
Wow.
And if something happened to me, you would be there for her. And so we serve wonderful men and women. And
I think that's wisdom too.
it's lots of wisdom, and trying to make sure that more people know about that and think through that life throws us curveballs and we don't always know. And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it's the husband who needs the help.
Absolutely. That's important. So I'd love for you to speak to that.
Yeah, we have a lot of very financially astute women in our client book, and they are wonderful to work with, and they're on top of it. And their husband is the person who doesn't have the financial savvy. He's the more creative person in the relationship, or just isn't his cup of tea and doesn't love it. And same thing. I think that it's often whether it's the husband or the wife in a couple, there's often one who predominantly takes care of the finances and one who doesn't. It's always a joy when they both love it, and that's fun to see. But it's the exception, not the rule.
And then speaking to that, on these meetings that you have on average annually, what is your goal when you have these annual meetings? And do you kind of run into this struggle sometimes where they don't both attend, or they don't both desire to attend, or it's not the norm for both to attend? How do you address that?
That definitely happens. There are a few, and it's just that you still meet with them whether they both attend or not,
Of course.
but it's always a point in the invitation, like please make sure that they know that they
You're
are
trying.
welcome. I'm like, I think it's really important. We don't have to have this financial meeting. Should we go out to lunch? Should we have a cup of coffee?
I love that.
Yes. So just making it more casual, comfortable, if they don't want to have sit in the conference room and look at spreadsheets.
So I think
That being said, looking at spreadsheets isn't what you mainly do in there, right?
No.
Yeah.
No,
So, I think there can be this expectation that if I come, I'm going to be sitting there. We're going to talk about numbers, performance, investments.
You're
I don't
absolutely
know what these things are,
Yeah.
but that's really not.
No.
So take us through a meeting.
We always love our Socratic opener. Throw that out there. But first they just walk in and we just want to know how they're doing, what's new in their lives, what are their kids doing, what's the next adventure on the horizon that they're looking forward to. Just always starting with what is top of mind for you, what questions do you have, what's most important, any concerns, issues, things that we need to address today. That's where I start every meeting, just making sure that we start with that question of what is most important to you. It's their time.
Listening.
Yes, listening, taking that down first, and then always being prepared. So still having sometimes they say, whatever you have listed looks great and wonderful. We'll just go through the agenda. But on top of my agenda is then always reviewing their goals. What are the goals that you have this year? In the future, every year, are they still right? Is your cash flow need going to be met by these? Or your, the desires you have with your family, is this right? And if
Has anything changed?
has anything changed?
Okay.
Often stays the same, but it often changes. And I think clients often forget what we've talked about and need that reminder.
often forget. We were talking about how many times you need to repeat something in order for it to be learned
Yes.
and retained.
But it's I mean, I think I just want to double click on it's qualitative. I mean, the things, the important things aren't what was the number of performance relative to an arbitrary benchmark, which we may have outperformed or underperformed, but it's how is the plan progressing? Has anything changed in that plan? Any new additions to your family, any grandkids?
Right.
Is there any gifting? Like sometimes they come in and when you ask that question, they might say, yeah, I just want to talk about how I can fund my grandchild's 529.
So, Ryan, great point, and thank you for bringing us back there. In the meetings, like the bulk of it is what do you want to be doing with your life? It's not the numbers, it's not looking at the performance or the investments. We will do that for you, but what I can't do for you is I can't know or understand your goals or objectives without having that conversation. What brings you joy? What do you want to do with your time? Where do you want to spend that time? Who do you want to spend it with? What's it going to take to make that happen? And so we're fun, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun in here.
Well, I think-
I know. And so like come hang out with me
We-
and
we
we'll just
think
have a
we are.
conversation.
Well, we think so. But I think that there's a great point here, and we've talked about it with Raleigh, with Kim. If something has changed, you're feeling anxious about something, fearful about something, there's been a health change, or there's been something joyful, a new addition to the family, or a new goal, do you want them to wait for this annual review? Or you want them to call you, reach out if you have questions, concerns, thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. We always want them to reach out. Anytime there's a big life change or a decision to be made or a question, we want them to know that you can reach out. You're not bugging me. You're not interrupting me.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, we stay busy, but that's because we want clients to be reaching out and working with us and asking us those questions. We want to know because we want to walk alongside them. We want to celebrate with them. We want to cry with them. We want to meet with them if that circumstance requires a little more in-depth digging into their financial plan. But we want to come alongside them in all of those moments.
What I'm hearing is you prefer the contact. You don't want this to be a once a year thing. You want to be walking with someone. So you're seeking relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, relationship is with our clients is the best way to know that we can be helping them achieve their goal and bringing them value.
And if you do that well, I think that's why often you're the first phone call when something does happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You've earned the trust. You should.
Yeah.
We illustrated that some clients have recently come to you, maybe there was a health event and now they're seeking out some help in relationship before somebody passes. But have you ever had somebody come who wasn't prepared, who has lost a spouse, man or woman, and how much more stressful can that be?
Yes, I'm thinking actually of a couple who I met this year, and they had a major scary life event, and they weren't prepared, and they learned from that, and so now have advisors and seek that help and surround themselves with the right people. And I think that a lot of times people come to us seeking that investment guidance, that stereotypical financial plan and financial guidance. And we often find that unbeknownst to them and maybe us that no, they're not prepared, but we uncover that and help them become prepared in those circumstances.
You said they come to us looking for the stereotypical investment guidance, and they find that we advise them in life in so many additional ways. I mean, we have clients who are attorneys that were saying, hey, have you thought about this legal aspect to the transition of your wealth? Or so we are in this privileged position to not only walk with them, but to see a very wide spectrum of things in their lives. Again, most of which have nothing to do with investments. We actually
Call
think
it
that
holistic financial health.
comprehensive wealth management,
Wealth management, holistic financial health.
the investment is almost the commodity.
Yes. There are so many things that can impact our finances that are separated from just what investment should I be in and how should I rebalance my 401k.
Have you seen a focus on investments where the stereotypical investment things become the root cause of being emotional around money?
Ooh, that's a good question. And thinking of a couple specific conversations, I think it's really easy to focus on like, why aren't we in the best performing
Yeah.
assets, and should we be in anything besides the S&P 500, or why own international? It's totally underperforming. And to like, oh, I wish I had a bunch of international in my portfolio this year.
So
But
that's
you can get caught up in those.
sure. So if the question is, why aren't we in the best performing investments?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fair question. So then are we now supposed to get out of those when they're no longer going to be the best performing? And how do we know that, right? So that's
Yes.
I think what leads to that emotional cycle. And if that's the game you play, you have to be right over and over and over.
It's
And I think
really
it's
hard to be
important
right.
for listeners to know that's not the game we play.
Right.
So what do we do?
No, we don't play that game of performance chasing.
You don't time the market?
And we don't time the markets.
Oh.
We don't market time, and we don't investment select, because I can't find you the next Google, and I always avoid the next Enron. I know it sounds
But
awful.
but you
but
can
I
avoid owning a
can.
bunch of the
I
next Enron.
can't avoid owning your whole portfolio in the next Enron.
Yes.
I will do that for you.
That I will help you with.
That I will help you with. And so no, we don't play those games, and it's really hard to get it's really easy, I should say, to get caught up in those games. And we often convince ourselves, oh, I'm not market timing. I'm not trying to choose the next investment, but I can just do that here. Or shouldn't we do this? And we often talk, we want to certainly keep the market in context. We certainly know what's happening in the market, and we have market context with how we invest portfolios. But no, that's not the whole game. There's so many things around a well-crafted financial plan beyond just what investments you hold in your portfolio. So I can't promise to have the next NVIDIA.
Well, we stay
But-
diversified, right? Which
Yes.
means by definition, we will never own, your portfolio will never be keeping up with the best thing out there in
Correct.
the market.
Yes. There will always be a part that you
Yeah,
love, and there
right.
will always be a part that you don't.
So the part that you don't,
Yeah.
you are the emotional barrier
Yes.
between them and their money,
Yes.
right? Because they're in it for the long haul.
Yes.
This is a short-term thing.
And trying to keep that focus no matter what age you are. I think that's also a really hard thing for many clients, where their plan is they're not spending much of their money, and they don't
Right.
want to, and they don't need to, but I only have, so many years left. I can't recover from
Mhm.
another market downturn like the financial crisis in 08 and 09. Well, you can't afford to hold yourself back, or your children are going to be hurt by getting pulled out. So just really understanding that a lot of times your time horizon is even beyond you, and
Correct.
helping
Your
people
money lives
understand
beyond you.
your money lives beyond you, and your goals are beyond you.
Wow.
And so let's go back to, what are your goals? What are the time horizons on those? Not just your lifespan, which we can't predict, we can't know, but understanding that, no, what you just told me is not for you. This is for your son
That's
or your
really beautiful.
grandson, or
Right.
granddaughter,
So
who,
let me help you.
yeah, let me help.
Stay on track.
Yes. And not permanently reduce what you will give to them.
Right. And I think that really ties in beautifully with LifeRaft, and we have the LIFE, Life, Living and Family Enterprise, and really having this, again, holistic view, having educated next gen, having all of this family on the same page. Everybody's living with these shared goals, purposes, this mission. And so kind of that's what I'm hearing you say is stay on point.
Yeah. Stay true to the compass, right?
Yeah. Stay living in that family enterprise.
Mhm.
This mission, this vision, this purpose, these goals. Stay there.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in the noise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
One of
I
our
was
investment partners calls it tune out the noise,
Tune out.
Yes.
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's coming. I mean, we get to speak to our clients, maybe 2 sit-down meetings a year, a few phone calls, but friends and news and media and internet get to
They're yelling all the time.
give them messages every day,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And not just once a day. So
Yes.
it's really important that we get to have that cadence of just saying, look, tune out the noise, bring it back to real wisdom, right?
Yeah. And we need that cadence. Another one of our investment commentators that we like to listen to calls it that vitamin C.
Yeah.
And you can't just take, a vitamin and be good for the rest of your life.
Right.
You have to have
It's not
that.
one dose.
It's not one dose, and you're not, set. We all need, myself included, I think my colleagues included, we all need to be reminded to tune out that noise, because sometimes that those waves get really big, the ship gets rocked, and all you can see is that storm around you. But
And
again,
you just want to protect.
And hunker down, and you can't see any way out. And
We go into it's human nature,
yeah,
right? Fight, flight, freeze. We
Mhm.
go into this defensive protective mode,
yeah,
right? And it contingent upon your personality. You're a fighter.
Mhm.
You're you fly or you freeze. And
Mhm.
so helping people work through that. But one of the ways you can do that is through education.
education. Mm-hmm.
That's why money is again so emotional,
Yeah,
and why we think our value is to be a emotional barrier between our clients and their money, not a spending barrier.
yes,
We want them to spend money and have
Mhm.
joy and experiences with their family, not just build up something for tomorrow and then pass it on, because that next gen probably will spend it just
fine.
just
yeah,
fine,
you.
right?
Yes, yes. We want our clients to see the joy of giving and
Yes.
seeing their
I
family
love that you brought that up.
experience it now. I think that's been a really common theme recently, where they're going to have inheritance. It doesn't need to just grow and grow and grow, so we never get to see them enjoy that and struggle now. I think that's a really common thing we see with clients today is how can we experience that growth and that joy with our children and our grandchildren now instead of just waiting till the end. So that's fun to walk alongside clients who do that as well.
Helping them build that real wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and just the joy of giving. I mean, talk about that.
Talk
Have
about
you
that.
encouraged some to give more, to think about it, and have you seen that impact positively in their life?
Yeah, it's really fun to see people give. I always love helping people give tax efficiently.
Yes.
Save taxes and give. It's really fun.
Oh my goodness, you're not a CPA.
I know. I would nerd out
Oh.
a little bit on that. And our favorite line of no children are not charities, but there are still some tax efficient ways to even give to them, depending on the situation.
I feel a whole other podcast. It's just percolating here.
Right.
Called Children Are Not Charities.
Children are not charities. I know. I actually had a client last week also quote how much it costs to take care of a dog for its lifetime. So
Stop it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently
What was the number?
a golden doodle apparently costs at least $36,000 for its
Right.
lifetime.
So
So
here's the deal. My daughters lovingly tell me that our golden retriever is the favorite child. And at times I tell them they are right. That depends on what's happening.
right,
the moment.
right, yes.
But continue.
Yes. No, it's really fun to see and help clients give. And I think there's just a different level of joy that comes from that and seeing their purposes fulfilled. There's lots of different ways to make that happen for clients and
Mhm.
understanding those goals and encouraging them, letting them know that they can do that and that they are taken care of. And I think that's a big hurdle to that is just knowing that, yeah, you can give this money and it doesn't have to be in your estate. It can be now.
Well,
You
that's one of the things
worked
about
hard
W.
to
Move
do that.
mountains create joy.
Yes.
So you're helping to move those mountains and create that joy to be able to give and experience that joy.
Yes. I mean, to steal from Dave Ramsey, he loves to say, live like no one else so you can give like no one else.
Wow.
And I think that's a really great quote that he has.
And you've seen that live
Yeah.
out for clients.
Absolutely.
It's really brought a lot of fruit for them.
Yeah.
A lot of real wealth.
real well. And getting to just see lives and communities around them flourish.
Yeah.
to your point, Ryan.
I'm seeing more and more in conversations people worrying about the impact of wealth on their children. So
Yeah.
not just are we going to leave them enough so that they're okay? Are we going to leave them too much and disincentivize work ethic or
Yeah.
create challenges around, who knows what? But
And to that point, I think then the giving along the way so that they can give and educate and see how they do with a little bit,
Mhm.
right? If you're faithful with a little, like, will you be faithful with much? Allowing us to partner with parents wanting to give to children, I think, is also a powerful thing we do for clients
Absolutely.
of like, okay, yeah, let's give and let's give in a efficient way. And then let's educate our children on what this means and how to steward over this. And then we can continue to do that and build that generational wealth and education and understanding. I think is a powerful thing we can do for families.
Yeah. Educating that next gen and having it be intrinsic to the culture of that family.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So
Well-
continue that legacy.
On that note, I mean, earlier you talked about this high percentage of
Yeah.
spouses, which we know this, just is a high percentage of women because women outlive men,
Yeah.
Yep.
Statistically
are not
speaking,
prepared
correct.
to take on that wealth.
Low confidence.
But I think the
management.
same statement could be said for when it does go to the next generation.
Yes.
To your point, if they haven't been dealt with wealth,
Mm-hmm.
well, they're not prepared, very likely aren't prepared either.
Right.
So while it says 84% of women, 73% of men say they're not prepared to handle wealth.
Sure.
So there's a low confidence for anyone receiving a windfall.
Yes.
And it's our heart to prepare people, to educate, to give them real wisdom, to walk them through the planning process, the decision-making process of what's important and what's not,
yeah.
and equip them to be able to make good decisions in the face of very emotional conditions,
Yeah.
whether that's right when they lose a spouse or they've lost their parents,
Yeah.
or the market has fallen 30 or 50%, which guess what is going to happen
Yeah.
again. We just can't tell you when.
Yeah. Ryan, you're absolutely right. And yes, we want to help them protect that. We want to help and see that improve their lives and improve the lives of their family and their community. And, not just hoard it into a spot, but also spend it well. We want to come alongside people to make the decisions that are going to be impactful for them and when it matters the most. And in those times of transition, it is really easy to have judgment clouded by emotions, by other people, by advisors that shouldn't be advisors.
Well, in LifeRaft, Shannon,
Addresses that. Yeah.
talk about.
We talk about that in LifeRaft. We talk about the fact that people who are in your raft, they need to be invited into your LifeRaft and they need to be worthy of being in the raft with you. If they're not, if they can't be trusted, they haven't proven themselves to be who they said they were, they need to be excused from that raft. So having this crew rowing together, right? They have to be a trusted advisor. They have to be somebody that has created that safety, that has built a relationship that is worthy of being the first one.
Who asks more questions than gives statements.
Absolutely.
Who is just willing to sit there and listen and
A steward, not a fiduciary. Yeah.
and have a cup of coffee or
When I say that I love that.
hand a tissue box across the table.
Right.
I mean, that happens a lot, right?
I love that you are willing to meet the client where they are. I'm not able to come in and sit at that table, but I'm absolutely able to go get a cup of coffee. That's just where I am right now.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes to the way you are willing to engage and have a relationship.
Absolutely. We thank you. And, we want to connect with our clients where they are. And I think, clients don't need to come to prepare to be with us. If you're looking for some help, you don't have to be at this specific point and have your list already, or you just have to be you. You have to be where you are, and we will meet you there.
So it's okay if somebody comes in and they are in a very vulnerable space.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
That's okay. We see it all.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Melissa,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Worth Beyond Wealth podcast. If you liked this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. The highest compliment you could give would be sharing this with a friend. Thank you. The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or any specific security. RW Investment Management, LLC, DBA RW Investment Management, is a registered investment advisor. Testimonials given by current clients are not in exchange for compensation. This document is solely for informational purposes. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RWIM and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. Past performance is no guarantee of future returns. Investing involves risk and possible loss of principal capital. No advice may be rendered by RWIM unless a client service agreement is in place. RWIM is not a legal or tax advisor.